Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. Today we are doing a quick recap of my SLP Summit presentation last week. If you didn't join us or if you're still wanting to check things out, you can head to slpsummit.com to catch the replays. They are available until August 15th. I presented on referrals and there were 5 other incredible courses. Today is meant to address the Q&A. I left a lot of time for questions, so the replay has the answers to the biggest questions. And then I wanted to share my plan for some of the other questions that came up. And I have a couple that I'll answer during this episode as well. Some of the common themes that I noticed, there were a lot of questions about communicating with teachers. I shared a set of handouts, and if you go watch the replay, you can access them for free. The handouts include an explanation of the SLP scope of practice, how to make a referral, and then checklists for different grade levels, so that can help teachers decide who they may or may not want to refer. The handouts are editable, so you can change them to meet your needs and to kind of align with your practice. And so that is one huge step in helping you communicate with teachers. We talked about sharing the handouts with teachers at the beginning of the school year or throughout the year as needed. We also talked about presenting at a teacher meeting or an in-service day to explain some of those things to teachers. If you're not feeling quite confident enough to go speak in front of all the teachers at once, you could hand the handouts to teachers. So if I decide to start with my first grade teachers, I might bring the handout of what an SLP scope of practice is, do the checklist for the grade level, and have that be a conversation. So there's different approaches we can take, and we'll dive into even more detail on that next week. And then the following episode will be, I invited an attorney onto the podcast, and we are going to be diving into all of the legal questions in terms of when is it considered a referral and what are the requirements and how do we approach intervention? What are the laws around that? I'm really, really excited to dive into those types of things because I think that'll give us a lot of clarity in terms of how we want to navigate things. And it will vary from state to state and district to district. Hopefully we can answer some of those questions in not next week, but the week after. The last few questions I want to address, because there was a lot of conversation in the chat about what does this look like for everyone else? I sent out a survey. Over 400 SLPs shared their experience and what they were noticing with referrals. There were questions about the data specifically. So I just wanted to recap. Out of all of the people who responded, the average SLP gets 14.98 referrals, so that's 15. For context, the average caseload size was 51. It's actually 51.24, but about 50 students on the average caseload. In terms of how much time SLPs are spending on referrals, 50% said they were spending about 1 to 3 hours. 20% are spending less than 1 hour. 20% are also spending about 3 to 5 hours. 10% of SLPs are spending 5 or more hours. So the average is 2.5 if you break down those ranges. That is a recap of our questions. You can, again, head to slpsummit.com to catch the replay. It's totally free to access all of the courses. If you watch my presentation, you can access my free handouts as well. The replays are available until August 15th. There is a fee if you want Bright Ideas to report the hours to the ASHA registry, but it is totally free to watch the courses and print your certificate and self-track your own hours. There's no reason not to check it out. There were some amazing courses. You can get some PD hours for free, or you can pay a fee if you want us to report it for you. And that's a wrap. I'm excited to dive into all things teacher communication next week and then follow up with some more answers to your legal questions. If any other questions come up, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram at SLPnow or email me at hello@slpnow.com. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time.